Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello. Welcome back. So excited to be with you guys here on this beautiful little Tuesday morning we have going on. I'm recording this on Monday, thus a little, time. Am I right? It's an illusion for sure. I've had a busy little morning so far. I'm sitting down to record this a little bit later than I usually do, but I'm not complaining because my morning was honestly so incredibly nice. I woke up bright and early and immediately headed out to the ranch to go actually do a little bit of help around with feeding, and then also I had some writing lessons this morning. We got to go fast. I was so excited. I've been working on up until now pretty much just technical skills, learning how to use my legs and my hands in different areas, really challenging my brain. I do find that riding a horse is very similar to driving stick shift though, so if you have any experience with stick shift, very different things. But if you have experience with having to move body parts at different times to equate to different movements or different directions, you'll have an easy time on horseback. That's one thing some people are surprised by. I grew up learning how to drive stick shift. If I could give anybody any sort of advice who is young, who has not learned how to drive yet, I don't know. If you're listening to this at 16 years old, that might be too young. I don't know how old you get your license at. 16, right? Anyways, if you're an adult and you're also learning how to drive, I highly recommend learning how to drive stick shift. I think it's so fun. I now have an automatic car and I miss driving stick so much. It's kind of hard to pick up at first, but I think it's an important life skill for everybody to have because, U-Hauls, big trucks, things like that, you never know what predicament you might be in and might have to kick it into gear, know how to drive stick. I love driving stick. I'm so glad my parents forced me to learn how to, even though I remember one time quite literally at an intersection getting out of the driver's seat and going over and switching sides with my dad because I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Oh my God. Anyways, so glad I powered through that. But yeah, it's been a lot of technical skills, learning just about what saddles fit which horse or how this horse moves, what kind of quirks do they have. And it's been so incredibly fun so far. I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, I was just excited to kind of learn how to post, how to canter a little bit today, and to basically go fast if you don't know what any of those words mean. It was such a fun time. I had such a blast this morning. So that was a great way to just get up and start my day, start my week. Are you kidding me? On horseback? What is better than that? I'm really gunning for that internship position. So every single time I'm there, I'm like, what do you need help with? How can I do something for you? If you are in a position where you're maybe in college or you're in a work position where you're like, I want to work my way up, but I don't know how. And I don't want to just be like, hey, I want this position, because sometimes outright saying it feels a little awkward. What I have done in my experience that has really helped me kind of get into higher level positions in a very easy manner and a way that seems natural is simply, sometimes you got to put some more work into it. And sometimes that work is free work. Yep. Especially if you're gunning for an internship. A lot of those internships are going to be unpaid, but the experience that they provide is worth more than anything money can give you. And a lot of trying to get an internship or being able to get an internship is just consistently showing up, showing that you're interested, putting in effort, giving a little bit of free work, and truly and honestly just proving to the people how bad you want it. Because if you show up, you do the basic of basic tasks, you clock in, you clock out, they're not going to be like, oh, this girl wants it. She's here, she's enjoying it. Of course she wants it because she's showing up every week. But also, she's not going to be our first pick because she's not going to be, going the extra mile, putting in more effort than everybody else. So I've really been showing up and trying to do that to the best of my ability. I'm like, I'll go scoop stables. I don't give a fuck. Like, truly and honestly, what do you want me to do? Throw me on the back of the gator. I'll throw out some hay for everybody. I am here. I'm having a blast, even though I'm covered in like horse poop. I don't care. I am here. I'm proving to you guys how bad I want it, how bad I'm gunning for it, and truly just like showing my passion. Sometimes it does take a little bit of effort on your part for people to pick up on the idea of, oh, they want it bad. They want it more than anybody else. Let's pick her. It takes you showing up and showing out, I will say. So I've been trying to do that to the best of my ability, but I will say my days are kind of thrown off now because I'm used to waking up and sitting down and filming this podcast bright and early, but now I'm getting home around like noon, even though I'm showing up there like 8:30. I'm getting home around noon, and usually around lunchtime I get super sleepy, so I apologize if my brain is moving slower than usual. I'm probably going to crack a Red Bull here soon to get the energy up and flowing. But yeah, that's really all I've been up to, prepping and preparing for summer, trying to secure some internships. Actually, there's one question I want to get to really quick while we're on the topic of like ranch hand work and just like me loving horses. I'm sure this is the last thing you're interested in, but someone asked, and this is a broad question, but I think this topic that we're on now is a great way to answer it. Someone asked, how do you know what you truly want in life? And the simplest of answer I can give you here right now, let me give you the key to the universe, the key to knowing yourself. To know what you want, you have to try things. Yeah, you don't know if you like yoga until you go do yoga. You don't know if you like horseback riding until you go do horseback riding. You don't know if you like neuroscience until you go take a couple classes. You don't know if you're interested in arts and crafts until you sit down and do arts and crafts. You don't know if you're interested in welding until you do welding. You don't know if you're interested in midwifery until you do midwifery. It really is that simple, because a lot of the times the ideas of what we want in our head seem like the right ideas until we're in the position, and then we're like, oh, either this is really good, it feels natural, or what the fuck am I doing right now? I'd also like to say, if you find yourself in a position where you're trying something and you don't like it, it's okay to not like things. That's the beauty of being in this life, is trying new things, putting yourself in new positions, going after this, going after that. Okay, I like this, let me adjust. Okay, I don't like this, let me adjust. But you are not going to figure out what you're meant to do in this life, I say with heavy quotations, or what is for you, or what your life calling is, or what your life's purpose is, until you put yourself in positions to discover it. Because I am sitting here right now and I'm thinking to myself, I'm literally like, I would be so happy. I mean, there's many things I'd be happy doing, trust. Like, I'm a happy person in general. There's a lot of things I'm interested in, but I am so passionate about like working with horses and just simply like being outside and being on a ranch. Like, I would love to do that for the rest of my life. Thus, I'm gunning for this internship really hard. But like, it is truly a passion of mine, but it's something that I never thought I'd like. I mean, when I was a child, it was like, oh yeah, I mean, I like horses. I'd love to do that. The opportunity never arose. My parents didn't have the money to put me in lessons. It was like, okay, cool. We can go feed this horse an apple if we drive past it. But like, that's like the limit of my interactions. We did not interact with horses at all. Horses weren't a prevalent thing on my mind when I was younger. I really didn't realize I discovered them until me and my friends, if you've been listening for a while, we did a group trip to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And we went on this beautiful, like 2-hour long ride through the mountains of Wyoming. It was just so gorgeous to be out in nature, to be on horseback. It really showed me just like, oh wow, like I really love this position. And I experienced that feeling and I kind of pushed it down. I was like, horses, I'll never do that. It's not me. I've never been interested in it, blah, blah, blah. Overthinking. I went on one more trail ride in Colorado and I realized, no, this is like, even though I've done it only a couple times, this is something that I do really enjoy. And if I don't chase that feeling, I will be doing myself a disservice by not going after my passions. Because the funny thing about passions is they kind of stem out of nowhere. And if you don't listen to them, then you're not like working within yourself. You're not listening to your true self. You do have to follow those passions and desires. But again, you're not going to discover those passions or desires or what you're supposed to do in this life unless you put yourself in new positions to try new things, to experience life, to get out there, to learn, to like things, to dislike things. That is the way to discover and to know. Because it's so funny. I'm sitting in this position that I'm at 26, and I'm like, oh my God, I love horses. I love working with them. I think it's just like so like literally magical, like getting out of my head and out of my body and having to work with another animal, like almost in a very psychic manner. It is just so amazing, and it's truly brought me so much joy. But also, it's something that I never could have thought of. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm scouring my brain. What can I do for the rest of my life? Let me think. No, you're doing it wrong. You are doing it wrong. You need to get out there and live life and try things and put yourself in different positions. Like I said, it's okay to dislike things. It's okay to realize, oh, fuck, I've made the wrong decision. I mean, I did that with nursing, but at least I tried it and I learned and I realized, okay, it's not for me. This is not my path. I can step off this path and redirect and hopefully figure out what path I'm on. Because the more that I'm out there at the ranch working with these horses, working on myself, like building these bonds, the more that I'm really realizing, oh my God, I'm addicted and I think I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. I fear I have no choice. And it's funny how life's purpose and life's calling will really be like that. It's like, no, bitch, you have no choice. If you step away from it, you will feel that hole in your heart. I've felt that way with art, with painting, things like that. Like, I feel like I lost a part of myself when I wasn't doing art for such a long time. And I feel that way also, like, if I miss lessons or, you know, we have a month off because there's a massive snowstorm that comes through. I'm like, ugh, I'm fiending. Like, I want to get out there. It's what my heart is calling to. But once again, it's not something that you will discover in your own brain. It's something that you will discover through trial and error and getting out and living life. Some things come naturally. For me, art was something that came natural. It was something that I was very interested in. But if you're the kind of person, because I've been around these people before where it's like, nothing has come natural to me. Like, there's nothing that I've been like, oh my God, child genius at. There's nothing that I've been super passionate about. Maybe here and there, and then I grow out of it and realize it's not my true passion. And I think those people sometimes feel very lost in life, but I think it's more rare to be born with a passion than it is to not. But I understand that feeling of being lost and being like, oh my God, like people are born with passions and I'm not. Is there something wrong? No, you just haven't lived life enough. You haven't put yourself in enough positions to learn what you like, to learn what you dislike, and to just try new things. So please, if I can encourage you to do one thing, try new things. Get out there. You would be surprised what calls to you. And it's funny when something finally calls to you because everything immediately falls into place. And it's kind of beautiful. It's honestly really beautiful. But yeah, I had a wonderful morning. That was a great little revelation I had this morning of just like, yeah, I need to be working with horses or else I feel like I'm not living my life, which is kind of fun. It's just funny because truly I never thought I'd find myself in this position. I'm very glad to have found myself in this position, but it's nothing that I could have like guessed or thought of, obviously. But what a great way to start my week. What a great way to get the ball rolling for the week. I have a very busy week coming up. I've actually had a couple of busy weeks in the past as well. I've been grinding. I'll tell you what, my YouTube vlog channel has had uploads every week so far. Yes, every week so far. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself because when I put too much pressure on myself, I start becoming avoidant. It's just natural. It just happens where I'm like, oh, the pressure's too much. Now I need to ignore everything in my life. No. This Capricorn season energy is high. I am riding that wave of just passion and fulfillment. And I'm putting out as many vlogs as I can. So if you want to see me, I don't know if you noticed behind me, if you're watching, I don't know how many people watch the podcast or more so listen. I'm more of a listener. Sometimes I'll check in and look around. But I went ahead and I repotted all the plants behind me. You guys were like, oh my God, a repotting vlog would be amazing. Like, I need to repot my plants. My house needs a little bit of TLC. So if you just want to hang out, if you want to watch something in the background while you eat your favorite meal, or if you're stoned and you need a comfort video to put on, come watch my vlog, Hannah Marlene 444 on YouTube. Yeah, I basically just took down all these plants, repotted them, made it look all pretty. You know, they really needed some TLC. And who am I to deny them? Because I honestly was starting to look at them and feel really bad. I was like, ooh, they are struggling. Let's be a good plant mother and step the fuck up. I've been going to yoga very consistently. I think last week I went 4 times, which is kind of crazy. This week I'm slowing down a little bit just because my schedule's jam-packed. I don't know why I decided to schedule every single doctor's appointment that I needed this week, but it's like dentist, dermatologist, OBGYN, flu shot, COVID vaccine update. I'm like, oh my God, girl, it's going to be a lot for my body. I hate the doctors. I loathe an appointment. Even though it's like usually nothing bad, it's just like, ugh, I don't want to do it. Having to wait up until the appointment, or like sometimes I psych myself out. It's just no fun. And then the copay of it all. Ew, adulting. This is what you guys have to look forward to. But if I don't take care of myself, I'll face bigger issues in the future. So I might as well just like dedicate an entire week to get it all done. That's kind of my thought process of it all. I'm very excited to hopefully get on some medication for my back knee. I'm probably most excited for my dermatologist appointment. But since I'm doing so many appointments, I'm cutting back on yoga a little bit this week. We're just taking a slight step back, maybe not 4, classes, but 2. We can do 2. I can commit to 2 classes. Absolutely. I've been loving yoga. I've been kind of getting more so into hatha and out of my basics classes. And I'm hoping to get into more of a, is it called vinyasa, where it's a little bit more flowy, a little bit more engaged. Some of them are very restful and relaxing, but sometimes I'm like, no, I need a good workout. Oh, and me and my friends have been on our movie grind as well. That's the one thing we consistently always do together, is just go to the movies. You guys know me. I've always been a big proponent of the movies. And I'll tell you what, do you guys have Cinemark where you are? Is that just like a Midwestern thing? I'm not sure. Cinemark, peak movie experience. I love a Cinemark down. It was always like the cheapest theater to go to. Sometimes they'd have like $2 tickets. So in high school we're like, hell yeah, we're gonna go see the $2 showing, not the $12 showing. AMC, I'm talking to you. But AMC was doing this thing called Scream Unseen, which is like they release, or they show a movie that is 2 weeks before release, like a new horror movie, and you just show up and it's a surprise. So it's like, who knows what we're seeing, but let's go. And I was like, hell yeah, I love a horror movie. I love being scared and a little, spooky. Like, I love it. I don't know what's coming out. I'm down for a surprise. Let's live on the edge a little bit. I think it's a fun way to also like introduce new movies, or just to get people to the movies. So AMC, that was great marketing on your end. Scream Unseen, highly recommend. It's the only reason I've been to AMC in probably years. But you guys, I saw the worst movie ever. Not actually the worst movie. I think like it has great ratings on Rotten Tomato. The premise of the movie is something that I've never seen before, but it was called Primate. And I don't do good with gore. I'm not a gore girl. I'm not like, yes, entrails. Oh my God, I'm so into it. Yes, blood and guts. No. I like a spooky, scary, psychological thriller. I'm not like, I want to see that clown murder 100 fucking people in a showing. And I fear if you are not a fan of gore, Primate is not for you. The premise of the movie is someone's pet chimpanzee gets rabies and goes fucking crazy on these people. I'm not even kidding. Me and my friends were curled up in the movie theater seats like this in a ball, curled up in a ball, screaming out loud. We are those annoying girls in the movie theater, but like, do you want a real raw reaction or not? And there was this one guy sitting next to us, who was probably our age, and he was giggling the entire time because we were clutching onto each other and fucking curled up in balls, screaming the entire time. Anyways, It was a fun watch because what the fuck is going on? But will I watch it again or recommend it to people? No, not exactly. But if you want a fun thing to do this week, go see a Scream Unseen. You know, go support your local cinemas. We definitely need to be doing that. The baddies are the one keeping the movie theaters open. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. But that's pretty much all I've been up to. Dry January has been kicking my ass. I've been trying to put myself in situations to be around people who are drinking and to like mitigate that need of like, social lubricant. Oh my God. Like, please, can I have a shot? And it's been good. The first week's hard. Second week gets easier. By the third week, I'm usually like, it's whatever. So I've been staying strong to that, even though the vices are all around me. I've been challenging myself a little bit more, like, oh my gosh, at work, like around people who are drinking, or going out and being around people who are drinking and not drinking, and, you know, going out to dinner and being around people who are drinking and not drinking. It's just, I need to really cut that need of like, I'm out in public, I need to drink. I need to really fix that demon inside of my brain, the alcoholism, let's be honest, and challenge that a little bit. So that has been nice. I also booked my first trip of 2026. I am very excited. I'm going to Oregon for a weekend at the end of January. Go see some family. My aunt just finished chemo, and she will be finishing her radiation when I go out there. So we're going to celebrate. And also my cousin just had a new baby. So it just made sense to kind of get out to the West Coast a little bit, go see the fam, hopefully go on some hiking and go to the ocean. I'm excited to just like see people I haven't seen in a while and be with that side of the family, and also just be in nature. It's going to be good. So yeah, I have a lot coming up. I'm going to a equestrian showing in a couple weekends. It's going to be fantastic with my trainer. And yeah, I'm just overall very excited, feeling the high energy. I hope you're feeling it too. Obviously, maybe I don't need that third dose of caffeine today because I've been on a roll so far. But enough of me yapping. You're like, bitch, I'm over it. Let's get into your questions, because I asked you guys, I said, submit your craziest questions, submit whatever's on your mind. Treat this podcast as Reddit. You know, when you're like anonymous on Reddit, like, oh my God, I have this crazy problem and I need another human being to tell me if this is correct or not, or like to give their input. That's exactly what this podcast is. I'm going to be vulnerable, anonymous with strangers online, and I really hope they want the best for me. And I love that we have that here as well, in a much, much healthier way. I also have a couple call-in submissions. Thank you. I appreciate you guys sending in call-ins. If you want to send in a call-in, DM me a voice message of your question. I'll be able to play it from my Instagram at Hannah Marlene. DM me a voice message there. I will say a couple of you guys are running into issues where you couldn't submit a voice message. For some reason, the way Instagram separates DMs is very odd. So for some reason, if it won't let you submit a voice message, be like, hey girl, it won't let me, then I can accept you for some reason into my general DMs, and then you'll be able to submit you on. I know there's so many fucking hoops to jump through. Once I find an easier way to do this, I'll let you know. I'd love to do a live where I can chat with you guys. That would be killer. But obviously this is a one-man show and I can barely work technology as it is. So stay tuned. Hopefully this 2026 will have some fun things coming up. But if you want to submit your call in, Hannah Marlene on Instagram. Oh, and one more thing. I'm going to be doing a fun little recipe on Instagram. I was in the mood for just like a girl meal. And so I am making charcuterie dip. You've seen charcuterie boards. You've seen charcuterie nachos. You've seen cooter, this, that, third, and the other. But have you ever seen charcuterie dip? No, you haven't. It's time. It's time. And I'm so excited to eat 3 blocks of cheese for lunch today, honestly. What else does a girl need in life? What are some hot girl hobbies? Ooh. You know what? I know you're expecting me to be up here like Pilates, going to the beach, shopping with my friends, which love, not hating on at all. But honestly, the coolest hobbies, get your pen and paper out. They're the weirdest. The coolest girls are the weirdest girls with the strangest interests. And I stand by that. I really do. I love a bitch who's like No, I do needlepoint competitions with elderly women. Like, what? What are you talking about? No, I train dogs to be show dogs. What? And I'm so passionate about it. Oh, I love horses and I love working with them. Oh my God, I train my fish to jump through a hoop. Oh my God, I absolutely am obsessed with FX makeup. Like, there's so many different things to be interested in. The coolest cool girl hobbies are the weirdest because it's the most natural to you. So, I think it's important when you're getting into hobbies to maybe introduce yourself slowly, work your way up. For me personally, it started with doing things that other people were doing when I needed to get out of the house, when I was in my, oh my God, agoraphobia phase, I'm not leaving my house. I'm not even getting groceries. I'm having that shit delivered to my front door. I just didn't realize I was in a heavy agoraphobia phase for a couple years, until recently when I started leaving the house more often. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was an option. I was in a heavy agoraphobia phase where I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't getting outside. And when I did get outside, I was so in my brain and overwhelmed with like the idea of people perceiving me that it got me like really scared. And so to kind of ease my way back out into the real world, I started doing hobbies that I knew were popular, heavily trafficked, obviously popular for a reason, and still felt natural to me. So I felt like getting out of my bubble. And things like Pilates, yoga, group classes where I don't have to think and there's enough people in the room where I'm mostly focused on me, but also it's like takes the pressure off of me a little bit with other people there. So sure, if you're also in your agoraphobia phase, start with things that other people are doing. It makes life easier, and then you can kind of venture into the weirder categories or your true niche interests once you get comfortable with being in public. Maybe I'm a little bit more mentally ill than you. Maybe you're ready to jump into the weird shit. Go for it. There's a community for everybody out there. I do know that that's one thing. We as human beings, we are not meant to be alone. We're truly pack animals, and that means that no matter what you're interested in, there's somebody else out there who is equally or more interested in it than you and has like built a community around it. No matter where you are, you could be in the smallest town ever. I guarantee maybe like a 20, 30 hour drive, whatever it is. Like I have to drive an hour for my hobbies. It is what it is. Make time for yourself. But there's somebody out there who's interested and is cultivating a group who is also interested. It's very important you get out and do those things. Another weird thing that like I realized, oh my God, there's a community around it you never would have thought. Gundam figures. Have you guys ever heard of this? Very nerdy. My boyfriend is really into it. So for his birthday, I was like, okay, I found this Gundam figure store. Let's go. I'll take you there. I'll buy you a Gundam figurine. And it's like we got there and I realized, oh my God, it's not just a store. Like there's all these nerds in here. And I say nerd with love. I never will use that in a derogatory sense, like nerd with love, because I'm also a massive nerd, who were in there like making custom things and chatting with each other and meeting up for group meets. And they had like a photo booth spot where you could like, position your Gundam figurines and take professional photos of them in the store. Like it does not matter how niche your interests are. There's also somebody out there for you who is also interested in that thing. And I think with community makes things easier than just doing them alone. But I do think the coolest cool girl hobbies are the weirdest fucking hobbies. I love somebody who is into something that I'm like, truly, I've never heard of that, but tell me everything. That's what matters. If you're following your passions, if you're following, what really calls to your heart, it naturally will show. You will start glowing. You will get excited about life. You'll get excited about leaving your house. You'll get excited about interacting with other people. It'll bring a newfound passion to life, make you feel a little bit less robotic. But please get a little weird, get a little freaky, get nerdy. Whatever calls to you is important, and it calls to you for a reason. So follow that.
Hi Hannah, hope you're alright. I hope it's not too late for a question. I was wondering, this past year I've been feeling really stagnant in my life, and it feels like I've been reflecting a lot and not doing much, and it just feels so uncomfortable right now because I feel like I'm living a lie. I'm trying too much to be a good person, a perfect person, rather than being who I am. And yes, it feels very tiring, and I don't really know what to do. And yeah, well, thanks a lot if you see this message, and love you. Bye.
Oh my god, girl, why do you sound like you're on the verge of tears? Please don't cry, please. Can I tell you something? Congratulations, you've leveled up in life. Okay, you're on the next chapter, you're on the next video game level. This is naturally what happens. Okay, you sound young, you sound like you're in your 20s. This is what happens every single time I hit a phase where I'm like, everything's kind of going wrong, or I'm like very introspective, or it's like I've outgrown this place, I've outgrown these people, I've outgrown this, I feel stagnant, I feel like things aren't going my way, I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. It's because I've completed that level, and now it's time to level up. You know how you level up? You get back into life and you start trying new things. Okay, you start putting yourself in new positions, you start going after those dreams, you start trying that hobby. But that's the only way to do it. You break up with that person, you cut off that friendship, you move to that new place, you try this new thing, you go after that new job, you sign up for that raise, whatever it is. But this is so natural, so don't freak yourself out. I think it freaks people out, especially when we're younger, because it's new. This is a new feeling to us. The stagnancy, the, oh my God, I'm on a roll, I'm on a roll, I'm on a roll. And then it stops. Like, why are we stopping? I thought this choo-choo train was supposed to be rolling. Okay. Like, why are we stopping? Now I'm freaking out. Now it feels like everything's going wrong. What's happening? It's because you've outgrown that phase in your life. There's so many different phases to life. And like, I'm not going to live my college phase for the rest of my life. In fact, you should outgrow that college phase. You should outgrow those people. You should outgrow that mindset. I'm not going to live my mid-20s phase for the rest of my life. By 40, I should have outgrown that phase. I should have outgrown that mindset. I should be on to bigger and better things. But the only way to really like cultivate joy about it and really like switch that perspective is just like, congratulations, you're leveling up. Congratulations, this is the time to kind of like, you know, adjust and shift your life, but in a very positive way. It's like a new opportunity is approaching, and you got to get that train rolling again. If you stay introspective, if you stay stagnant, you will stay there forever. I will say, the possibility of you staying there forever is 0 to none, because that feeling is very uncomfortable. And like, naturally, when humans are in uncomfortable positions, they're going to want to, you know, outgrow or move from those positions. You're going to want to naturally find a way out. So you will figure it out. You will stop feeling stagnant eventually. But if you want to get that ball rolling now, ask yourself, like, what would Dream Me be doing right now? What life would she be living? What hobbies would she be doing? And start doing those things. That's a great way to get that momentum rolling and to make your life stop feeling so stagnant. And naturally, like I said, humans don't want to feel uncomfortable for long, so you won't. You will naturally make these adjustments. But it is kind of a mourning process. I've found that every time I do complete a level or complete a chapter of life, I do go through that mourning process of, oh, damn, like, it's over, isn't it? You know, oh, I do miss my college is over, high school is over, or my early 20s is over. And it's like, sentimental. It's like looking through a scrapbook of, oh, cute. But there's more life to be lived. There's more exciting things to see. There's more exciting things to do. And that's what's so beautiful about life and living it, is there's always more opportunities. Open yourself up for those opportunities. Challenge yourself. Put yourself out there. Build up that momentum. You will naturally flow into that next chapter of life. But don't be sad, okay? This is a time to celebrate. This is a time to say thanks for that level of life, and to open your arms up and your heart up to that next chapter of life. Congratulations. I started selling my art last year, and that has morphed into a small jewelry business. Oh my God, congratulations. But over the past couple of months, sales have really been down, and I am worried about the future of my little venture. How to stay motivated when it seems like there's no point in continuing. No point in continuing? You're writing that narrative. Okay, let me be honest. I have picked a very non-conventional way of living life. There's kind of two paths. there's a lot of paths, okay? But there's kind of two paths if you really think about it. Okay, adult brain Hannah kicking in right here. Two paths. One, the societal path, which is, okay, I'm going to go to college, or maybe not even go to college, go to trades, maybe not even go to trades, maybe immediately get into a company. I'm going to work for a company. I'm going to work my way up in that company, and I'm going to retire. You know what? I'm not even going to sit here and talk shit on that, because it is fantastic. And if you're mentally stable and you've chosen that path, congratulations, it's great. You get matching 401k, retirement benefits, fucking insurance. Are you kidding me? It's great. It's set up that way for a reason, you know, and it does make sense. There's a lot of ease that comes to it. There's a lot of just like knowing what happens next. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. I'm not hating on it. It's just, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I was not born to work in a corporation. I'm a very like, I do not get along well with authority. It's just not gonna work. It didn't make sense for me. If it doesn't make sense for you, that's okay. If it does make sense for you, that's wonderful. Congratulations, bitch. I wish my job was paying me fucking, like, it was taking care of my insurance and matching a 401k. Oh my God. Oh, it'd be fantastic. But it's not my story. It's not what works for me. Second path is being like an entrepreneurial spirit, working on jobs, working maybe 2 or 3 jobs, following your passions, following your art, starting a business. And with that comes instability. There's stability, sometimes non-stability if you get laid off or something, but then there comes the unstable path, which is kind of like the nomadic lifestyle, where you're making money here, you're making money there, you're starting your business, the sales are up, the sales are down. You chose this path. It just is what it is. It's a part of it, and the sooner you realize to accept it, the easier it gets. With me too, you know, like I have multiple streams of income, but when I was like fully serving, it was like, okay, yeah, December's, January's, February's, whatever, were very slow months. There was also months like that in summertime that were very slow because people just aren't eating out. Either they're saving money, they just paid rent, they're not coming out to eat. They're busy outside because it's nice out. They're not going out to eat. They're doing things more active. Oh, it's a holiday weekend. Of course, they're not going out to eat. They're with their family. They're cooking dinner at home. Like, there's so many different aspects that make it more of like a wave like experience instead of just like a straightforward up experience. But that's just what it is. And like I said, the sooner you accept that there's going to be ups and downs, the easier it gets on you. The downs don't matter, okay? You can pick up money wherever you need to pick up money. If you need to pick up an odd job, pick up an odd job. If you need to, you know, maybe start hustling on some content, putting out content, do it. If you need to mass produce a bunch of jewelry real quick to just make some money, do it. It is what it is. Like I said, it's just a part of that lifestyle. Now, I will say, if that makes you very uncomfortable and you do not like the risk factor associated with it, then maybe it's not for you. For me, I hate to say it, like I said, my brain's a little fucked up. I love the risk. I do. It makes me work harder. I'm like, I could fall off at any second. Like, and not that I'm manifesting it, but it is a reality with anybody who's like making money on their own. It's like, the money could quickly not come anymore with any sort of job. That's just how it is. But especially when you're like making your own products or running your own business, it's just something that happens. For me, it pushes me. It makes me work harder. I personally, like I said, maybe this is my fucked up brain, but the instability helps me work harder, push further, you know, put more into myself. But if you don't have that natural drive, and if you don't like the ups and downs, then maybe you need to be seeking a more stable career. And I'm not saying give up, you know, but maybe something you do on the side. I understand putting all your eggs in one basket gets spooky, especially when the sales drop. But you have to understand, with sales or with any sort of like business online, the nomadic lifestyle, I don't even know if that's the right term, nomadic lifestyle. That seems absolutely very wrong, but I don't know what else to call it. So there might be a $5,000 month and there might be a $0 month, but if you equal those out, that's $2,500 months both months, you know. So it'll even out eventually. It'll all come out in the wash, as they say. But you got to accept the ups and downs as part of the process, and you got to use that as a boost, you need to work harder, to push harder, to put out more content, to make more jewelry, whatever it is. And if it's something that really scares you and you really need the stability and it really freaks you out and you stay up at night thinking about it and it's just not good for you, then maybe it's not meant for you. Maybe you get a more like secure job and also sell your business on the side, and then you get your supplemental income there. It really is all dependent. But everybody's built differently. Everybody can handle different pressures. Everybody has different momentum and just like factors in which they appreciate living life. Some people are meant to, work for a company, work their way up in a company. My brother's like that. It's like, it makes sense. There's steps to take. He's good at negotiating. He's good at being like a peer to work with. It makes sense. It works for him. It works really well for him. Honestly, if he was in my position, he'd be panicking and freaking out. Like, I get it. But also flip-flop. If I was in his position, I'd be panicking and freaking out. I'm very happy where I am. He's very happy where he is. We're two very different people. What's important is we know what works for us. We know what we're meant to do. We know what feels right for us, making money wise. And we chose those things. Sure, I live a very, very unconventional life. I know when people ask my parents, what do I do? They have no fucking clue what to tell them. But I'm happy. And it makes sense to me, and it works for me, and I'm having a grand old time. So who really at the end of the day gives a fuck? If that fear is something that really like sticks with you and you don't like the ebb and flow of money, you need stability, that's valid, that's real. I understand you. Maybe it's not meant for you. And I say that with all the love and compassion in my heart. Truly, honestly, genuinely. Hi, Hannah, longtime listener, first time caller or texter, not caller. I always see that screenshot of you saying, hating yourself gets old. We're all a little ugly and weird. Get over it, circulating online. And it's such a good reminder. Are you aware of this? Every time I see it, all the comments are like, this changed my brain chemistry. Are you aware of your impact? Love you. It's so funny. You guys, at this point, I've been on the internet for such a long time. So many different things of mine sometimes go viral and circulate. But that was like the one quote that really has stuck with people, which I think is kind of funny. And I do see pretty often. I get a lot of DMs that are like, they stole your quote. It's like, no, they're words. No one can truly steal them from me. I don't care. But also, it is nice that like something positive has that level of outreach. And I'm glad that if anything of mine is going to go viral, it's something very positive that hopefully, yes, does change people's brain chemistry to start believing in themselves. That's all I could want, truly. Like, some people put out rancid fucking content that make people hate themselves, hate other people. It's like, god damn, what a soul-sucking way to live. I hope you have fun burning in hell when we all die. Do I believe in hell? No, but I know you ain't going somewhere good. I'm securing that good spot. I'm securing the world's largest angel wings as we speak, because if there's one thing I'm going to spread, it's hopefully awareness of self, and most importantly, self-love. But yeah, it is funny. I do see a lot of people, like even scrolling on Pinterest, I'll see that quote come up pretty often. Alrighty, let's get into some call-ins. I'm so excited to have these back. I'm so excited that you guys are also as excited as I am.
Hey, long-time listener here. I'm 22 now. I moved to Scotland last year from England to kind of pursue my work, go to university, better myself, get more money up. I live with my cat, my dog, and my chicken. I did move up here with my ex-partner who I was with for 5 years. I've now been without him. I've been single now since September of last year. So a really good while to kind of just be by myself, just sort of know what I want. Met this guy in November, and we just absolutely knocked it off. We got along so well. I met him at my friend's party in England for her birthday. He lives all the way down at the bottom of England. I live all the way up at the top of Scotland. So it's an 11-hour drive. I've been down to see him a few times just because my family also live down there. So it's pretty perfect, really. But next month, February, he's coming up for a week. This is going to be his first time in Scotland, first time in my flat. And I'm really looking forward to it, as is he. My question is it crazy that we're already sort of talking about, him potentially moving up to live with me sometime, this year? I'm going to be at university for 2 more years. It'd be really nice to share bills again, but also I'm finding the long distance part a little bit tricky, I won't lie. But I really, 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 really think he might be the one for me. He's a perfect mixture of being the same person as me, but also being polar opposite in the terms that he's a little bit quieter, I'm super loud. He's a little bit more laid back. I always want to go for an adventure, but it's not gotten in the way so far. And it's almost in a way he's kind of worded it that I'm making him want to go out of the box, which is really nice. And he's kind of proven that to me with some of the things that I've had him doing. But yeah, I want to know if that's crazy. I don't think it is, personally, but I know that some people might think it is. I don't want to jump into it. I want to take it really nice, but I also want to do what I think is right and what I feel, is right, as is him, and what he feels is right. But I just want this to go well, and I really love him, and I want it to last. So any advice, I would love it. Tell me what you think. Continue the pod, queen. I love it. Mwah.
Oh my goodness. First of all, accent slayed, love down. Okay. I'm seeing green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag. I'm seeing commitment, understanding, knowing each other, getting to know each other, basically doing long distance, and it's working. Rare. That like never, not never happens. Never say never. And like as Lana Del Rey says, when you know, you know. So like I'm not going to shit on your intuition at all, love. But November, moving in 3 months. I say you're young, you're wild, you're crazy. If you really fucking want to, you know what? Go for it. I say kind of scared. Like, yeah, why not? I do want to make it very clear with you. If you are young and you ever make a big decision where it's like, this is a little risky, I don't know this guy very long, he's moving into my place, like, do I fully trust him? Do I not? As long as you have a backup plan, that's all that matters, okay? You can be put in any situation. This is when it's important as women, as anybody, to really enjoy and take priority of the process of a backup plan. I've always been a girl who has a backup plan, and I think it's gotten me very far in life where it's like I'm never put in a position where I'm like, well, now what? How do I get myself out of this position? It's always like, no, I've always thought of the worst case scenario, so I have it figured out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'll do this, I'll do that. It'll all work out. As long as you have a backup plan where if shit hits the fucking fan and this man, ends up being a piece of shit randomly, or is like broke and can't afford bills and then is living in your house, or like some random shit happens, you guys realize you're not compatible. As long as you have a backup plan of like, well, I'm brave enough to kick him out, or I'm brave enough to start Venmo requesting him, or I'm brave enough to tell him to his face he's a piece of shit to get out of my house, or I'm brave enough to up and leave and find a new place to live, then do whatever the fuck you want to do, babe. High key. It's okay to make risky decisions. I'm not against risky decisions. I mean, as long as your safety is priority number one, that's all that matters. Risky decisions, especially when we're young, is what makes us know ourselves more or get to know ourselves more. Trials, tribulations, calculated trials and tribulations are good. You should take risks in life. I don't want you to live your life in accordance of someone else's rules or someone else's perfect amount of time. And if you guys know each other and you're set, you're like, no, this is the man for me. Like I said, who am I to shit on love? Congratulations. I know how it is. I do. 5 years might be different than 3 months. You are definitely in the honeymoon phase, especially not spending 24 hours together at a time. I maybe would put in a little bit of buffer space where it's like, Maybe you guys do like a week vacation, 24 hours together, see how it goes. Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe he comes up and lives with you for a month. And then if that works, he goes back, gets his stuff, and then comes and moves up with you. You know, I like to ease into my big decisions. But like I said, who am I to shit on love, and who am I to tell you you're going to make the wrong decision? The only way to do it is to live and learn, babe. Of course, always have an exit plan. You need, if you are a human being who likes to make crazy decisions, as long as you can form an exit plan, and if shit hits the fan, you can stay calm, cool, and collected, then you can make any decision you want. Truly, honestly. As my Gemini brain, I can get myself out of anything. Like, usually, if it's regarding the law, not usually, because hello, duh. But like, you know, I can always figure out to turn a worst case scenario into a best case scenario. You know, I can always flip that switch in my brain where it's like, that sucks, I'm moving on. But if you can't do that, maybe don't make the risky decisions. If you can, and you have that strong-willed nature about you, like I said, who am I to tell you what's right and what's wrong in your life? Girl, be in love. Enjoy that love. 11 hours apart is a long time. That's also like a good amount of time for him to be committed at a long distance pace. Like I said, maybe like he moves up for a month and you see how it is and then go from there. But like I said, you are who you are. Make those decisions that you feel comfortable in. Who am I to tell you they're wrong? How do I turn a boyfriend with low effort into a guy who actually wants to do things? You know what? I'm like, can I tell you something? I'm a pro at this. Let me tell you exactly how to do this. Are you guys ready? You don't. Oh, every answer I get is like opposite of what you think. You don't. You don't. The older I get, the more I realize you really can't change people. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, if they love you, they will completely change for you. That's what the definition of love is somebody completely putting themselves aside and 360ing their fucking attitude or whatever the fuck's going on because they love me. That's devotion. No, that's called control and manipulation, babe. Oh, I know. And it's very scary and sad to hear, but I'm going to tell you something. People are who we are. We are who we are. Is that a Kesha song? Yeah, you know what? Kesha said it best. We are who we are. And I don't think you should change for a relationship. Even if you're sitting here and you're like, but he should change. He's the world's laziest boyfriend. He does nothing for me. He sits and rots with his ass cheeks stuck to his fucking gaming chair all day and smokes so much weed and does nothing for me and doesn't see me and doesn't do anything for me. Oh my God. Then why are you with him? You know, like, why the fuck is he in your house, babe? That is an intruder. Like, you might as well get a cat. They'll at least give you a little bit of love. But like, there is no changing, and your low effort boyfriend will become a low effort husband, a low effort father, and dare I say, just he's gonna stay that way. It is what it is. Now, I will say, if you're dating and you're young, people change, people grow. It is a part of life. Personalities and the way we interact with the world and like the people who we are does change and more so solidify toward your late 20s. So if you're dating a lazy, low effort guy in your early 20s, they're all going to be lazy and low effort because you're in your early 20s. It is what it is. But in your late 20s and your 30s, if that man is low effort, lazy, he is who he is. You have to ask yourself, is this what I want? Is this what I deserve? That's the tea. That's the piping hot goddamn tea of it all. Let's be real. When I was younger, I was lazy. I was low effort. I didn't know how to mop or clean or take care of my house or basically take care of myself. It is what it is. When you're younger, you're figuring it all out. Sometimes it's all too much. Relationships at that point in time are going to be pretty low effort, chill, not a lot of high stakes, things like that. But mid to late 20s, if he is not a well-rounded individual, if he is not, putting an effort on himself or you or your relationship or his job or whatever it is that he's being a lazy piece of shit about, that's because that's just who he is. And I think the sooner I've realized the best relationships are one not built in control. That's like my take on the whole micro cheating thing. The sooner you realize, oh my God, I actually hate this personality that he has, and ask yourself, well, do I want to live with that or do I not? And then either choosing to stay or choosing to leave is the best way to go about things. Then instead of, oh my God, I hate his personality, need to change it completely. Like that just feels like manipulation at this point. If you don't like systematically how a person is, they might change for a little bit. They might, adjust to keep the peace a little bit. But truly, honestly, at the end of the day, that's who they are. They are who they are. They aren't going to change fully or completely. They shouldn't have to receive your love. And honestly, you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, is this a personality I can put up with? Is this a relationship I want to deal with? Oh, your boyfriend never takes you on dates. Is that the kind of relationship you deserve? Oh, your boyfriend never helps you clean the house. Is that the kind of relationship you deserve, or husband you deserve, or father figure in your children's life that you deserve? Is he reliable? If he's not, is that the kind of person you want to be with? That's what we need to start asking. I think a lot of the times it's very easy to take the pressure off ourselves and go, he's the problem. He's the problem. My partner's the problem. They have this problem. They need to fix it. They need to fix it. They need to fix it. But, babe, can we take a moment and can we look in the mirror? And instead of saying, oh, they need to completely change who they are, ask yourself, why am I sticking around? Is this a relationship for me? If he was to never change, would I be happy in 20 years? If the answer is no, you gotta go. Honestly. And like I said, this is my adult brain forming, okay? Where I'm just like, people are who they are. Some people are horrible, awful. Some people are some kind of balance. Some people are just weird. Some people are this. Some people are that. We're all very, very different. That's why dating is important. You don't have to meet your first boyfriend and be like, we're going to make it work. I'm sobbing every night, but we're going to make it work. That's what love is, right? No, dating is important to understand personality traits. What is worth it? What's worth compromising over? What's not worth compromising over? What behavioral factors are important to me? What love languages are important to me? It's important to date around, to, shop a little bit. Okay. That seems very surface level, but that's truly what it is. And if there's anything you're going to shop for, it should be the perfect partner for you. But if you're not happy with fundamental characteristics of who a person is, you should not be asking them to change. You should be asking yourself whether it's worth it to stay or to leave. Like I said, if this person was to never change in 20 years, would you be happy? If the answer is no, you might as well save yourself 20 fucking years and leave now, honestly. This is a real big sister advice episode. This is some real grown shit right now. I'm telling you what. Release control. If I could give anybody, just anybody, any sort of piece of advice, it's release control.
Hi, Hannah. So I turn 20 next month, and my dream since I was 14 has been to travel. This morning, I booked a flight to Italy, and I am so stoked. I've never dropped that much money on anything besides my car, but I joined a group trip. I'm going solo, but I'm joining some people in Italy. So any tips or recommendations for solo travel in general, or the flight there? I also have a 5-hour layover on my way back. So any tips would be very helpful. But I love you in the pod so much.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Hopefully, oh my God, I love you. I really am hoping that I inspired you to do that, because I talked to so many young people who are like, I wanted to and I never did. It's like, no one's stopping you. Book that flight. I mean, money is stopping you. I get that. But if you can save up the money, if you can hustle a little bit, book that flight. So I'm so glad you did it. Italy will be a fantastic fucking trip. I'm very jealous. Now, I think I'd have more advice to give you if you were going solo, but I think you did it perfect by joining a group trip already. I would say, number one, the flight over there, just don't sleep before you go. and then you'll sleep the entire time the way there. That's how I did Japan, and it was perfect. Layovers, do not drink on layovers. You will be vomiting in the bathroom the entire time. That's what my boyfriend did. Don't recommend drinking on layovers. Just do the best you can. Noise canceling headphones, comfy shoes, comfy outfit, change of underwear in your bag. Yes, I brought my whole toiletry bag and a change of underwear. I was going to bring a change of clothes, but I decided against it. But like, if you got a ushy gushy girl like me, especially sitting down and sweating for so long, cramped in a tiny little airplane, bring a change of underwear, okay? And then in Italy, open yourself up to experiences, open yourself up to connections, get to know people honestly, truthfully, like just be who you are. It's an opportunity to be yourself completely, like raw and honest in who you are. Everybody else is also on the same journey that you are if you're doing a group trip. So like everybody's in the same position you are. And I think that's so beautiful and so fun. Just like go with the intention of having as much fun as possible and experiencing as many things as possible. Of course, be safe, be aware, don't hook up with older men. If you're gonna hook up with anybody, protection, birth control protection. But be safe, be aware, listen to your guides, but have fucking fun. You're young, you're going to Italy. Like, you should be fully committed to having as much fun as possible. Congratulations. Literally, I'm so jealous. Speaking of releasing control and more boyfriend problems, I know. I hate the boyfriend questions, but also the girls are breaking up recently, and like if I can give you any perspective on your relationship, I'm happy to do so. My boyfriend doesn't want me going to parties and clubs with the girlies. I don't drink, and I would always text him during and invite him, but he would never want to go because he's had his party era, and I've never even gone to a party because I'm always grinding. LOLs. I need to dance with my girls. Help. He's so sweet though. Is he? He could be sweet, but this is controlling. And this is when I would tell your boyfriend, release control. Okay, you're both miserable because he's controlling. Yes, you should be able to go dance with your girls. You should be able to go out and get blackout drunk with your girls. You should be able to go out with your girls and do whatever the fuck you want without a man in your ear going, I don't like this. I don't like when you have fun. And you know what? If he needs a girl to stay inside, maybe he can find that elsewhere. Also, the only way to combat this in your relationship healthily is for you to go out anyways and let him deal with those emotions alone at home. Yeah. I know this because I'm a reformed crazy fucking bitch. I do. Like I said, I used to track my partner's location. Where are they? What are they doing? Thinking they're doing the worst thing possible. Oh my God, I was so crazy. Like, please release control. And the only way I learned how to combat that like need for control was to be with a partner and allow them to do whatever the fuck they want. And yeah, sure, at the beginning, I was sitting at home panicking a little bit. Oh my God, what if they are... It doesn't matter. You'll deal with those emotions. You'll go through the process. You'll realize, holy shit, I just wasted a whole night panicking when he's going to end up at home with me anyways. Like, who gives a fuck? The more he goes through it, the more he experiences you going out and coming home and everything being fine, the more he'll realize it doesn't really matter, okay? But you cannot leave yourself at home for his comfort because you're still allowing him to be in a controlling place. You need to go out and have fun and go fucking dance with your girls. And any of those emotions that he's gonna feel, he can feel those. He's an adult. He can have those feelings and he can deal with them on his own. But that is not something that you need to deal with or fucking play around with. That is an adult baby. He can deal with those emotions. And I know this, like I said, because I've been an adult baby, cry baby. Oh, my man's going out and partying without me. Oh my God. Girl, shut up. Stop being miserable, you know? And I understand if you're panicky because you don't have trust in your relationship. That's a whole other fucking problem, like I said. But it sounds like you're in a relationship where there's a good good solid foundation of trust. You have great communication issues. You invite him, you text him when you're out and about. You're not getting sloppy fucking drunk. You're just like out having a good time with the girls. Healthy, good, normal. Every girl should be doing this, whether they're in a relationship or not. Now, anything else that happens is his problem to deal with. There's no reason you should apologize. There's no reason you should lock yourself inside. He should deal with these emotions. And honestly, if you say, hey, I'm going out with the girls, I think you should. I think you should say, hey, I'm going out with the girls tonight. Period, point blank. I'll text you when I get there. Love you, bye. If he freaks out on you, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Because you don't want a controlling man around you. I think you should tell him to his face he's being controlling. Period. You know, let's put the mirror in front of the person here. You're being controlling. This is weird. If there's any sort of reassurance I can give you, absolutely. But I'm doing this. I'm going out. I'm doing it. Let him deal with the emotions. If it blows up into a big fucking fight because you went out and had fun with your girls, that man is way too controlling for you to be in a relationship in. But the only way to kind of figure that out is for you to go out and live your life, because you should be able to. Okay, let this big ass baby deal with his own emotions. Okay, that is not something you need to figure out. You are not being paid by the hour. Speaking of which, if you were being paid by the hour, my therapist is $175 an hour. So tell him to Venmo you if you're going to deal with those fucking emotions. $175 Venmo now. Someone said, I deleted IG because I'm an addicted whore, but I wanted your tips, not you re-downloading it to ask this question. You know what? Commitment. I'll answer it right here, right now. I wanted your tips on how to stop seeking validation from men. I've been checking my phone every 5 minutes, waiting for a text from a man who is not that into me, even though I'm aware I can't stop going crazy. Anyways, love the pod. Saludos desde Mexico. Can I be honest, girl? You just need hobbies. You need hobbies. You need to get hobbies. I'll tell you what, from experience. We've talked about hobbies a lot. The one way to break the need of male validation is to get so fucking busy. You guys, I am so busy right now. Every single hour of my day, I am doing something. Whether it's something for me or something for somebody else or something for you guys or something for... I'm doing something and I'm not complaining. No. Never ever will I complain about the life I've set up for myself. I'm making money. I'm happy. I have hobbies. I'm doing things for myself. It's all important, but I am so busy. I barely have time for myself. The last thing you're going to be thinking about when you're so fucking busy is if this man who likes you or doesn't like you will maybe text you. And I think it's important to be this busy, especially as a woman, because it's the best way to weed out the wink links. Okay? If that man can't come into your life and make it exponentially better or exponentially easier when you are so goddamn busy, you're not going to have time for him. You aren't even going to give a fuck about him, because those low effort, low vibrational moves that he's going to make, such as texting you at 3 a.m., are actually going to piss you off instead of be like, oh my God, I'm so excited you finally texted me. I've been waiting around for hours. You're actually going to be like, bitch, I'm so fucking exhausted. It's 3 a.m. Shut the fuck up. What do you mean I need to come over and give you free pussy now? What are we talking about? Like, no, I'm actually pissed. Like, why? How dare you text me like that? It'll naturally weed out the weaker men, or the men who only want you as hookups, or only want you for this or for that, who are there to use you, okay? If you really want to weed out the wink links, you gotta stay busy. Also, if you want to not rely on male validation from the wink links, you got to stay busy. You got to have hobbies. You got to pick up that extra shift. You got to go above and beyond. You got to go to yoga. You got to go do this for yourself. You got to go hang out with that friend. Like I said, if they are not finding ways to make your life interesting, make it better, spend intentional time with you, actually reach out to you, make an effort, then it's not going to fucking matter. Like, truly, I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm like, no. If I was dating, I don't even think I'd have fucking time to date, because I'm so busy. And unless that person was perfect for me, was trying to make my life easier, was trying to show up in ways that I never could have thought of, was trying to like ease my workload, then I truly could not give less of a fuck. So yes, any advice for young girls who are like way too reliant on male validation? Get fucking busy. get busy, pick up those hobbies, go take that workout class, go hang out with your friends. The busier you are, the better, because you're more committed to yourself, and it's going to take people being very committed to you to fit into that puzzle piece of your life.
Hello, my beautiful smoke mommy. Thank you for all of your service to the girls and the gays and everybody out there. You've been through it with me and my bestie through it all. Anyways, this is a really wild question, so buckle up. But I was wondering if you have any advice for how to go about starting to mourn the passing of a very young loved one. And also, this is the main thing, how to get over the idea of them watching you have sex from heaven. I don't know how to do that. So, advice. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I gotta laugh. Sorry, I know it's not like funny, but it is kind of funny. Here's the thing. I haven't touched on the topic of grief that often on here. I have on the Patreon episodes, and that truly, honestly, is because I have not dealt with a lot of grief in my life, and like, thankful, I know it's coming. Thus is mortality and thus is life. I know I will experience those things, but I don't feel at a level where I can give input or advice on like extreme grief, because I have not experienced it. And truly, until you experience an emotion or something like very hard and just like the trials and tribulations, until you've experienced those things, then you actually truly have perspective, and then you're actually truly able to give good, solid input and advice. I've experienced grief, but nothing in the sense that I think some people do, where it's like very close to loved ones. Yeah, I've had, grandparents pass away. I've had pets pass away, things like that. But I really don't think it has been so close to me where I've experienced, or I've been like at an age where I'm able to process those emotions in a way that is like viable and real and also beneficial to you guys. I will say when it comes to, because I've thought about this before. Like I said, I always have that perspective of like, oh my God, there's always someone watching me, and not in like a cute, sexy way. It's like in a, oh my God, who the fuck is watching me right now? I'm scared kind of way. So like in the sense of like thinking about your loved one watching you have sex, you gotta laugh it off. You have to. Like, sometimes when it comes to the dark emotions, you have to just like turn some things into comedy sometimes. Sometimes laughter, like they say, is the best medicine. Thus me laughing at you saying like, oh my God, I'm envisioning them watching me have sex. And like, you got to turn it into something silly if it's really kind of getting in the way, where it's like, oh, they're envisioning me having sex, but they're clapping, they're cheering me on from the sidelines. Like, if my bestie died and I was like, oh my God, I know she's watching me have sex, I'd be like, and I know she's telling me to throw back harder. So like, for her, I will. This might be more so like OCD thoughts that you're kind of having, and it might be a way that your brain is trying to like control the situation, and thus like the control is seeping out into many other aspects of your life. And thus I mean, with any sort of grief, I know once I experience extreme grief, I will immediately be seeking a grief counselor. I'm very pro therapy. As you guys know, if you have the means to see a counselor or a therapist, I highly recommend doing so. And I know when it comes to like extreme grief that I will have, I will need help with that. And thus, I do always recommend some sort of grief counselor or grief group where other people are going through these things. Like, I guarantee you are not the only person who has thought these things. And thus, it is kind of like you can laugh it off. It is silly, especially when you're like, oh, taboo sex, there's ghosts watching me. It is kind of funny how the brain thinks of these things and, processes in weird ways. And the best thing we can do is to kind of be like, LOL, how human of us. This is kind of funny. Like I said, laughter is best medicine. But if it is like something seriously OCD, like you can't have sex because it's something you're always thinking about, then we're going to need a little bit of like professional help. And not because something's wrong with you, just because like grief truly and honestly fucks up your brain. And like, As it should. As it should. When we are confronted with our own mortality in the form of somebody we love or something we love, it's going to fuck up your brain. And that's just normal and natural. And I am thankful that, I mean, I really do a lot of internal processing to understand and to like know when I will need help. So when I do go through these things, I won't be afraid to ask for them. But like, if I'm going to tell you one thing, it's like, if it's really interfering with everything in your life, then maybe we go seek some professional help. If it's just something that pops into your head every once in a while, the best thing to do with those OCD thoughts or like the feeling of somebody watching you is just to kind of laugh it off, to turn it into a joke and to kind of like, oh, that's funny, move forward from there. I hopefully that's like a lighthearted answer and as well as a serious answer, but I do get a lot of questions about grief, so this is a great time to bring it up. I'm not answering those questions because I'm like ignoring you, or I just want to keep it light, so I'm not going to talk about death. It's like, no, I want to give real honest answers here, and I want to do it in the best form possible. And if I feel like I can't touch on a subject because I haven't lived that experience yet, then I'm not going to do it. There's so many podcasts out there and therapists and group, grief groups that you can go and seek this companionship with. And I wish I could provide it for you. I can only provide what I know, not that I'm manifesting that. Universe, please, the love of God. But naturally in life, we will be confronted with mortality, with grief, with very hard emotions. And when I get there, I will be happy to share it with you guys. But from here on out, the only advice I can give you is like, if my friend died and I was envisioning her watching me get fucking, I don't know, 3-manned, I would just have to assume she's on the sidelines clapping me on. like, woo, yes, girl, get it, Oh, but also, I love getting help. That's like my number one thing in life. If I could tell anybody, is just like, a little bit of help goes a long way. Coping with getting older. Oh my God. Can we go ahead and shut down that fear right here, right now? I feel like I had this fear when I was like, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. From that, like, what is that, 6 years? That 6-year difference, I panicked heavy about, oh my God, getting older, being over 20. What am I going to do? What's going to happen? I'm going to be so uncool when I'm 26. Oh my God, 30. Ugh, I might as well be in the grave. Oh my God, I was so young and stupid. Like, truly. And with age, you will learn this. Also, like picking up hobbies, doing things you're interested in, getting into work that matters to you. Like, you will realize like the fear of aging that is pushed onto us is such a tool to control us, and also like lame loser. Honestly, the older I get, I've said this once, I'll say it before, the older I get, the hotter I get, the more stable I get, the sexier I get, and also the more passionate I get about life. And another thing, the less I care about getting older. I thought right now at 26, like 25 turning 26, I was like, oh my God, I'm not in my early 20s anymore. And I'm not in my, like, I'm kind of in my mid 20s, but I'm starting to get to my late 20s. I'm starting to panic a little bit. And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm actually really looking forward to 30. I love that my brain is fully formed now. I'm looking forward to 40 and 50. Like, oh my God, who knows what I can do when I'm like a real adult with like real adult money and real adult stabilization. Like, oh my God. And then 60, like retirement, the dream. Are you kidding me? Like, it's going to be fantastic. You get more freedom with every year. You get more comfortable in your brain and your body with every year. You learn more about yourself with every year. You meet new cool people every year. You go through trials and tribulations, sure, but like you learn about yourself and you get put in new positions and you meet new people. It's just like, it is so fantastic. I'm so grateful that 16-year-old Hannah, 13, whatever fucking age, oh my God, time flies. That's how I know I'm getting old, because I'm like, what age did I do that? like 14, 15, I was in the psych ward and I was like, no, I can't even envision myself being older than 21. It's like, thank God her plan didn't work. Oh my God, because holy shit. Sure, responsibilities get harder. Sure, there's more pressure on you or more things you have to figure out. But also, just like the freedom and the experience of life is so worth it. It is such a blessing to get older. Every single day and year I get, I am truly so thankful. I envision such like a peaceful life for myself because I truly am committed to it. And you know what? Like I said in the last episode about writing our own narratives, if you want to write a narrative for yourself that you're going to be dead and decrepit at 35, oh my God, what a short life you're going to live. You know, like what a lame short life. For me, it's like, no, bitch, I got till 80, 90, and I'm going to ride those years out the best I can. That's my narrative. Like, I'm going to get up there. I'm going to get older. I'm going to get cooler. I'm going to get more fun. I'm going to get more freedom. I'm going to learn about myself. Bitch, I'm going to own a ranch one day. I'm going to have a horse I can ride every single day. I don't have it now because I'm a young, dumb idiot. But like, one day I will. I know that because with adulthood and with growing older comes stability, comes knowing yourself, comes achieving your goals. And it's just so beautiful. I will never feed into the idea that getting older is like lame or whatever. Oh, you get wrinkles. Oh, so sad. Bitch, get Botox. If that's really like your fucking one worry. Oh my God. Congratulations that you're only worried about the wrinkles on your face. Like, what a little worry to worry about. Oh, no one will think I'm hot and sexy anymore. Yeah, because you're not fucking with like 20-year-old boys. Like, what? When I was younger, I understood the like not the innocence, but kind of like the adolescent perspective of it all. It was like, ugh, getting older, lame, and that's like just a part of being a young kid, is like you kind of just hate adults, and that's because you don't have freedom and you're jealous, low key. But once you get older and you realize, oh wow, blessings, and I'm creating the life I want, and yeah, it's all up to me, but also thank God it's all up to me. Whew, the pressure gets taken off your shoulders and life gets really fucking fun, really fucking fast. Trust, I got bills I have to pay. I got doctor's appointments I gotta get to. I have things I need to figure out, girl. I have a retirement account I need to set up or whatever the fuck. Yeah, adulthood, bills, things like that. But if that's all you're living for, yeah, that's gonna fucking suck. So please, you have to live for other things, like getting a cool girl hobby, which is just like a weird micro niche interest, or getting out into the real world and trying new things so you know what your passions in life are, so you know what your quote unquote purpose in life is. I'm a big hater of the getting older perspective. It's like, yeah, I am getting older, and thank God, because if I was stuck in my 16-year-old brain for the rest of my life, like I cannot imagine something scarier. Or even like my 20-year-old brain, like, girl, mentally unstable, did not need to be doing that much drugs. Or even like 23, like you do not need to be that sad. Like life is okay, it's all right. And I know with every year, every 5 years or every 10 years, I'll be able to get that perspective, and it's just so beautiful to see the growth in real time. I'm also very blessed to be sitting here at 26, so young, are you kidding me? And be able to be like, wow, I've grown so much in 10 years and 16, are you kidding me? Thank God. Thank God. I'm so blessed to be getting older. And that really is the narrative you should write for yourself. Do not write your life away by thinking it's all going to end at 35. If that's what you think right now because you're young, it's just a part of being young. It's the adolescent perspective. But the older you get, the more you'll realize, oh, wow, there is life to be lived, and I'm excited to live it.
Hi, Hannah. First of all, I just wanted to say that I really love the podcast. I look forward to it every week, and you genuinely keep me in check and keep me motivated, and I just get this sense of hope every week when I listen to the podcast, and I just wanted to thank you and all the girlies for that. My question is about this coworker of mine. We work really closely together. We also sit next to each other at the office, and keeping my distance is just a little hard. But basically, she, let's just say, has these narcissistic traits, and she gossips all the time about everyone, and I just get this kind of feeling that if she's talking about this like this about other people to me. She's probably talking like this about me to other people. I have to be very careful not to overshare with her. She's also very good at just ruining the mood. She's always in a bad, not always, she's fun when she is trying to be fun. But yeah, she gossips, she complains all the time, she's very loud, she takes up a lot of space basically. And I know you've talked about working with older women, and you've shared some of your positive experiences, and I was wondering if you have similar experiences to mine, and if you have any advice on how to deal with this, because you know it is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I try really hard not to let it get to me, but sometimes it's just hard. Thank you. I love you.
Okay, have I dealt with gossipy coworkers? Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's like the number one bonding thing you can do with coworkers is gossip, but there's like levels to gossip if I'm being honest. There's like, oh, I'm gossiping in a very healthy, normal way, which is just like us telling each other facts back and forth, you know? Like some people would consider, gossiping being like, oh my God, did you hear she's pregnant? But it's like, I'm not being mean, I'm just stating a fact. That kind of gossiping, love. Like, did you hear? Did you know? Oh my goodness, did you hear about this? I love it. I love being in the know. I'm a nosy bitch. I love being in the know. But there is a different level of gossiping, which is less gossiping and more so talking shit, where it's like they consider it gossiping where they're like, did you hear? But it's them just telling you their negative opinions about everybody around you. And I will say, if you've ever been around somebody who is only talking negatively about other people to you, you are not in a safe area. They are also talking shit about you behind your back. And it honestly has nothing to do with you. You've probably done nothing wrong. You're probably just being human. The psychology of it all is they just hate themselves and they nitpick everything they do. So they nitpick everything around them. Okay. Narcissistic also qualities where it's like maybe they think they're above everybody else and they think everybody else is below them, and thus they're going to talk shit about everybody. Those people you have to be very careful around, and not very careful around where it's like, oh, I need to cut myself off completely and I need to not talk to them ever, and if they ever talk shit about somebody around me, I need to tell them they're being a horrible, awful person and no one likes this. You can do that. It's an option. But for me personally, coworkers, I don't take seriously. There's no reason you could ever make me take that shit seriously. Like, love y'all down or I don't fuck with you. Either way, I don't care. I'm clocking out. I'm going home. You can't pay me to think about this job when I'm at home. And it's not in like a hateful way. It truly is just in like, I need to protect my peace sort of way. And you don't have to be friends with your coworkers. But also, like, I'm going to have fun when I'm at work. So if the person who talks shit all the time comes up to me and talks shit, I'm going to let them talk at me. But that doesn't mean I'm going to tell them like secrets that are going on in my life, give them access to anything going on in my life, tell them anything about me, truly or honestly. Interact with them in a sense where I'm also talking shit and being like, oh yeah, I did hear that. I'm a receiver when it comes to information. I'm also a Gemini, so that's just who I am. People come up to me and they'll be like, did you hear about this person getting murdered down the street? That happened to me at Sunfresh the other day. I was like, these fucking drivers. I looked at this old lady. She almost got hit by a car. I was like, these fucking drivers. She's like, I know there's a kid who got killed on a scooter outside of my house the other day. And then did you hear about this? And did you hear about this? I was like, oh, whoa. That's a lot. But like, she obviously needed a vent. So I hear you, grandma. Can I help you get to your car? People come up to me, they say things I'm happy to receive. So when it comes to the shit talkers, I'll receive, but I won't engage. Where it's like, oh wow, no, you're the first person to tell me that. Like, that's crazy. Okay. All right, can I help you get to your car? like literally, like sometimes you just gotta do that where it's like, you're not putting energy into it by withholding energy or by giving energy. You're just very much so in a neutral state. Because when people are interacting in a level that is very negative, 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 they are looking for a equal interaction of energy. Either you interacting with negative energy to match their energy, or with you counteracting with positive energy in which they just leech off of your positive energy. Me, when I interact with negative ass fucking people, and maybe this is just me, being in the service industry for so long where I know how to handle these energy interactions, I very much so enter it in a neutral state where I'm like, okay, all right. Wow, okay. Anyways, did you get my fucking email, bitch? Because you have not completed this assignment. Like, I need you to do this. Hello. It keeps the decorum of it all. It keeps the coworker level still there, where you you have to work around each other, you have to work with each other. If you're like having to be paired off into teams or tackle assignments together, then like you're still able to interact, but it isn't that like energy vampire where you're having to withhold energy or give energy. It's just like enter in a neutral zone where you're like, okay, anyways, dot dot dot. Or another way to do this is if they're coming up to talk shit like to you, or they're coming at you negatively, you can remove yourself from the equation. You can be like, you don't have to say this out loud. You can be like, I don't have time for this today. Or you can be like, oh, I forgot my coffee downstairs, and escape from the experience and like go on a walk real quick and then come back to the situation. There's ways for you to remove yourself in a very healthy way, where you're still, managing the decorum of the relationship by having to interact with each other without ruining that relationship, but also not feeding into it in any sort of way. Not having to like put aside your morals where it's like, oh, this is a shit talker. Okay, I'll become a shit talker. No, no, no. Like I said, a little gossip, healthy. Did you hear? Are you aware? Anyways, not, oh, I hate this person because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Ugh, I can't stand that. And I work around a lot of gossipers. Not gossipers. What did I call them? Shit talkers. I work around a lot of shit talkers. And honestly, if this one thing I've taught me is A, you ain't gonna know nothing about me. I'm not telling you anything about me, because anything I say, you're gonna turn that into a negative and tell other people about. And also, you're kind of just evil. So no matter how you see me is gonna be negative. So I'm not even gonna give a fuck how you see me. I know who I am. I know I'm good. I know I'm chill. I'm a good vibe. If you have a problem with me, you can come up and say it to my face. But if it's anything that's happening behind my back, girl, I have an evil eye tattoo on my back for a reason. It's because that shit's supposed to stay back there, and where my eyes are is all that fucking matters. Anyways, it's a little bit of a longer episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm just very excited to have the call-ins back, so I wanted to answer as many as possible. If you have more call-ins, or maybe I didn't answer the one you submitted, go ahead and shoot me a little DM, like a call-in above, or here's my call-in, whatever it is. I'll see you. Voice message to my DMs at Hannah Marlene. If your voice message is not responding, say, hey girl, voice message isn't allowed. I'll accept it into my generals. Some are accepted, some aren't. It's very odd. Just let me know. Trust me, I'm watching those DMs. I got you, girls. If you want to see the vlog, me replanting my pots, come watch it on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. And if you want to see the vlogs early, if you want extra content, if I didn't get to your question and you want it answered, come join the Patreon. Me and the Patreon girls have such a fun time over there. Literally, I'm constantly posting. I just posted some spell work for Spiritual Sunday, talked about like different ways to like clean your house in a very spiritual way to get rid of negative energy. I just submitted a bunch of journal prompts if you don't know where to start on journaling and need some help getting along. If you want some weekly inspiration, I share different things from my Pinterest board and my personal Tumblr account, so you guys can see what inspires me, and literally so much more. We have a new moon coming up, so there'll be a new moon write up. Oh, I love Patreon. It really just, I can be a little bit crazier on Patreon, and we have a fun time over there, I'll tell you what. But with that being said, if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/smoke/shawty, But with that being said, oh, what a good week. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Truly, it brightens my week to sit down with you guys every single Tuesday. Could not be happier. Stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah.